Afternoon, Skip Funny here, Knoxville, Tennessee. Got some good news. Let me spin this camera around. And you may recognize the Subaru frame, body, whatever. I've got it trimmed down, aligned, squared. Now I need to take it back apart and clean up the metal for all the welding. I mentioned I cut the rocker panels, and I have a 2x4 1/8" wall, which will be running the whole length of the rocker. Should give it good support. I have about 13 inches to cut off here, which just happens to be what I need to go from here to support the front horns. Well, I checked the weather. Looks like we might have another week of low 60s. We're getting rain, but it's more of a drizzle. But now I got to take this apart, clean off the sealer, clean the metal, get it ready for welding. Hopefully this week. I guess the week starts Sunday. It does on the calendar. So today, Sunday, I went to pull apart. Been watching some YouTubes, and I found a DIY power steering, and there it is. This came out of a Saturn. There's a guy in Portugal that actually makes a wiring harness, so you can wire this into your car. It's an electric motor with sensors, torque sensors, control box to give you power steering. No pump, no hydraulics. Right onto the steering column. Now they actually sell a unit that you can put into Volkswagens, buses, Mustangs, old hot rods, stuff like that. They are not cheap. $1,500 plus. Comes as a kit. What this cost me, had to pay $45 for a steering column, which I don't really need, and another $65 or so for the power steering. This thing has one connection, black white and black red, which goes directly to a fuse in your battery. The other black red goes directly to the motor. There's one more plug with 3 wires. The pink goes to your ignition switch. It actually is what turns the unit on. You hear a click according to YouTube, which is more likely a relay, but it lets you know it's working. The other 2 wires go to the computer. I believe is for the VSS, variable speed sensor. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. Now this is not the unit that the wiring harness from the guy in Portugal sells for. He recommends using the one with the metal cap on the control module. This one has a plastic one, which I cracked in the process of getting this sucker out of it. There was a hidden bolt going through underneath the steering column, which actually holds this thing up. You can rotate this in any direction. I did take off the 3 bolts. There's your unit. What you basically do is you trim down your steering column, trim down your post, make adapter, a D-slot adapter for this shaft, which goes back up to your steering wheel. And this one you can adapt modify, play with, do whatever you want to go down to your steering box. Now these have normally been mounted on the inside, but I did watch a guy, he had it mounted in the engine compartment of a Cobra kit car. So the decision is up to you. Check out YouTube. Look for electric power steering. Now this is new to us. They've been out since, I believe, '05. But what a lot of people don't realize, with me being a Subaru guy, 1986, Subaru had electric steering on the XT6, which is what my three-wheel car is made out of. And they had problems with it. And I continued cruising around the yard, and guess what I found? Another AC heater unit sitting in the back of a Ford van. Had the fiberglass roof on it. So I checked, it had 2 air vents up on the roof, and there it is. Nice unit, compact. I have the hoses, goes to the vents, and that's the box that actually goes on top of this unit. I got the AC hoses, in very good condition, nice and soft, very pliable. Also picked up the heater hoses, again, in very good condition, pliable, and it comes with a vacuum switch. Miscellaneous hardware, and the wiring harness. Now this was tied directly into the Ford. So the hoses and everything only went as far as, I would say, the front of the sliding door. And then it's tied into the factory wiring and operated from the dash. So I'll need to come up with some switches. And those vans are also a good place to pick up wiring. Look at that heavy gauge wiring with the covers. All of this right here was $65 with tax. So I don't think I'll be using the Subaru air conditioner heater contraption. It takes up a lot of space underneath your dash. I'll be using this one on my Volkswagen van project. Well, Volkswagen Subaru project. Actually, it's only 1/3 of Volkswagen now. Anyhow, it's been a good day. I'm tired. Tried taking a nap. That was not successful. But this is my biggest thing. I just found out about them. I was watching YouTubes. Too many of them. They get me in trouble. That's why I'm building a van. And they seem to have worked out a few bugs. They still have a few headaches every now and then. There's a couple of really good guys on there that explains this, how to test them, the different models. A lot of people do use the Saturn van, V-U-A, I think. This one came out of an I-O-N. Never heard of them. Anyhow, I'll be testing this unit, making sure it does work, motor works. It was $115, which is actually the cost of the motor. The modular unit, the guy said $2,000. I don't think that's right. But they do sell these things for $1,500 plus as a kit. Now the kit for the Volkswagen